here at home, police arresting multiple people after fights broke out at a pro-Palestinian rally in midtown Manhattan last night. It came as thousands of people gathered to celebrate the annual Christmas tree lighting at Rockefeller Center. And about a week ago, New York police arrested 34 protesters at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade, including some who tried gluing their hands to the middle of the parade route. New York City Councilman Ari Kagan joins me now to talk about this. Councilman, good morning to you. Some of the signs that these protesters were holding compared the Israeli military and Israel to Nazis. What do you think about that?
To me, I'm a son of Holocaust survivors. It's very offensive because they don't know what they're talking about when they talk about genocide, comparing Israel to Nazis. And I do not recall like ceasefires, truce, medicine, water, or any kind of negotiations in World War II. You know, like so. They have no idea what they're talking about. They not just wanted to disrupt and to offend. They do it on purpose and for Christmas tree lighting. You know, so. They just embarrass, compromise, and discredit the whole idea, you know, of a peaceful protest.
You know, I think you hit the nail on the head because you mentioned the word disruption. If you think about what these protesters are doing at the Christmas tree lighting, they shut down the Manhattan Bridge this past Sunday, so commuters couldn't get home from the Thanksgiving holiday. There was also the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade we mentioned. They were gluing themselves to 6th Avenue. You have to wonder, who are they trying to persuade with this sort of behavior? There was a New York Post op-ed that pointed out a few days ago that this is the exact opposite approach taken by Martin Luther King when he aimed for orderly protests to convince people and speak to the humanity in all of us. That's not what's happening here at all.
I just would like to compare it to pro-Israel rally in Washington, D.C. 300,000 people came. Yeah. It was absolutely peaceful. It was a very strong and powerful message. They thanked police. They thanked America. They were clearly pro-Israel. Message was sent, and nothing like what we see in New York. I believe that most of them, it's a loud, noisy minority, in my opinion.
Yeah, that comparison is spot on when you think about how many people peacefully protested together in Washington, D.C., and what we're seeing in New York City and cities across the country with pro-Palestinian protesters. How do you feel about Mayor Eric Adams' response? He's on the opposite side of you politically, but on this issue, how do you think he's handling it?
He clearly expressed his sympathy to Israel and he's pro-Israel in this stance. I would like NYPD to be even more forceful in terms of arresting. Everybody should be equal under the law. And I participated in many Celebrate Israel parades all over the years on 5th Avenue. Everything was very peaceful, and every time we show that we strongly support the only democratic Jewish state in the world.
Yeah. Let's talk about the war itself, because there's reporting that President Biden got on the phone with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu a few days ago and said, you can't operate in South Gaza the same way you are in the north, because that's where Palestinian people are. How do you feel about that cautious approach that the president warned the prime minister to take?
I would say, again, I strongly believe that IDF, one of the most, if not the most humane army in the world, nobody would do anything like this, informing, oh, we're going to bomb here, we're going to bomb here, please move to that location or that location, talking about who is Nazi and who is not. I would say, again, America should send a strong message to its ally, Israel, and to the whole world, that we stand for humanity against terror. Hamas clearly hates not just Israel, but America, and all decent people of the world should stand with Israel, and I'm very grateful to this network for standing for humanity and for decent people and for Israel in this difficult time. Look what just happened. We just discussed what happened. Another terror attack. And I would like all of these demonstrators to hold another sign, we condemn Hamas. I do not hear them saying, are they saying we condemn Hamas for October 7 bloody massacre? I don't remember this.
Humanity against terror. That is the message. Councilman, thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.